All right. Good good afternoon, everyone. So this is our first class for intro for cloud computing, and then we're going to be discussing introduction to cloud computing based of our curriculum for week one officially, right? So we're just going to dive right in. During this class, we're going to be at the end of this class, actually, we're going to be understanding a few things as well as concepts, basically, right? We're going to be understanding what cloud computing is and why it's important, right? When people say cloud computing, actually, the first time I heard about cloud computing, I was very, very confused. I thought maybe there were servers in the cloud, right? And I don't know, for some reason, that's what I thought, right? Then we're going to be familiar with major cloud providers. There are a couple of them, but about three are the bigger ones, the big giants, right? That's AWS, um, owned by what's its name now? Um, Amazon, yeah. Then Azure, owned by Microsoft, and then Google Cloud, owned by Google, right? These are the major cloud providers. During this training, we're going to be dabbling into both Azure and AWS, but focusing more on Azure, right? Um, but double between Azure and AWS. Then also going to know how to create a free tier account. Also going to know how to create a free tier account on a cloud provider, right? So probably on AWS or Azure. And then we're going to navigate the cloud provider's dashboard and explore basic services. So these are things that we're going to be achieving at the end of this class. And it's going to be an interesting one. So let's just um, pay attention to what we're going to be discussing. So for our intro to cloud computing, we're going to be answering this question for talking about this thing. What is cloud computing? Um, Characteristics of cloud computing. Why does cloud computing matter? Real world use cases, right? We're going to be touching on these things. So let's see, what is cloud computing? Cloud computing does not actually refer to what you're seeing in the word cloud, right? Because now you're seeing this icon here, you're seeing servers behind or in front of the cloud, and you say, okay, there's servers in the cloud. Not really, right? It refers to delivering computing resources, probably storage resources, server resources, database resources, networking, AI, analytics resources over the internet, right? Um, so let's go a bit backward, right? Previously, a long time ago, when you want to create like a software or a tech company, you have to create your own server. You have to get your own server, your own database, your own network and everything. You have to get theme, your own theme and everything, right? So that means, oh, I need to get systems, I need to get servers, I need to get um, um, modems, routers, switches, all of those things. I need to get them on, right? And I also need to get the staff that will maintain them, basically. So that means I need to get network persons, DevOps persons, um, engineers, and all of that, right? In my company to be able to now host my software in the on the internet, right? That's what used to happen. Then, as time went on, companies like AWS decided, why don't we have like um, a place where we can have all of this together and then rent it out to individuals who are interested. Now, what happens? We're going to be talking a little bit about the characteristics, right? But what happens is people now come say, oh, I want to get database. Um, AWS or Azure provides database for this process. Or I want to get onto host my application then they're able to host the application and some of these other things, basically. So instead of buying hardware, companies can rent resources on demand, right? We can't do that with cloud. We can't just say, oh, I want to increase my database. We can't do that, right? But on the cloud, you can do them. Just go with clicks, you can get more resources sent to you, spinned up for you in no time, basically. So you can rent resources on demand and pay only for what you use as resource owner, basically. So more or less a pay as you go model, basically. And that's what cloud computing is. Just servers that's been created or provisioned by companies for others to come rent on demand. Simple. So what are the characteristics of cloud computing? Right. We have on-demand self-service. Right now, I could just go and say I want a database. In fact, we're going to provision it on during this class. I could just go and say, oh, I want a database, right? And I go there and I get my database right there on demand, right? I can say I want servers and easily. Then you could also provision it in such a way that you instruct the servers to scale, that increase resources, basically, when you have more users coming to your platform, basically, without any interaction, just automatically scales or reduces the resources attached to it, right? Then broad network access, that means another characteristics, right? That means services are available all over the internet via multiple devices, basically. So those days, you could probably get just a desktop app. If you want to join it, you have to go on your system and use the desktop app. But these days, you can have your apps on your desktop, on web, on your mobile phone, you can have on your wristwatch, you can have on your TV, you can have just about anywhere, basically, right? And that's one of the characteristics of cloud computing. It's hosted there and it's served over the internet everywhere in the world, right? Resource pooling, computing resources are shared across multiple customers, right? So like I mentioned earlier on, anybody can just go and say, oh, I want resources, right? These resources are now shared amongst multiple customers. Scalability, you can now scale your resources up and down as needed, which I've also mentioned earlier on, right? So, you created a software for just 100 persons. And then after 2 months, you realize that, wow, you have tens of thousands of persons coming into your, accessing your software in a day, or millions of persons are accessing your software in a day. You can scale it up and say, okay, I want more resources, right? Remember, it's a pay as you go model. So you're paying for one resource previously, and you scale to like 10 resources, but then you're paying for 10 resources, right? So that means when your users reduces, you don't have to pay for 10 resources. You scale it down back, right? Now that's an advantage when you compare to having your own server. So you have 10, you have one server, and then you realize that your users are increasing, and then you go buy more servers. First off, it's going to take time to even buy them and probably get them, set them up, one of that, right? Then your users now sort of, it is probably a situation where users increase at a certain period in time, maybe 8 to 10 a.m. you have spike of users. Then from 10 a.m. to 6 p.m. no users. But from 10 a.m. to 6 p.m. you're going to be paying for 10 resources if you own them, basically, right? But if you do not own them, they are in the cloud, you can provision them to, or you can specify that their resources go down so that you don't have to pay for them. And then from 6 p.m., you specify that they go up again, they scale back up, right? So at the end of the day, that's an advantage to using cloud computing. So now, why does cloud computing matter? We've actually discussed what's cloud computing and characteristics of cloud computing. So why does cloud computing matter? Based on our conversation so far, you should be able to tell why cloud computing matters, basically, right? It eliminates high upfront cost of hardware and maintenance. High upfront cost. Remember, cloud computing pay as you go, which means postpaid. Owning your own servers isn't pay as you go. You have to pay for everything, which means prepaid. So there's that upfront cost. You have to get your servers, you have to get your networking cables, you have to get your routers, your switches. You also have to get the persons who are going to be monitoring as well as setting them up. So these costs are going to be there for owning your own servers, but you're going to eliminate them when when you use the cloud, right? So at the end of the day, instead of paying for all these costs, you are just going to Azure or AWS or Google Cloud and saying, oh, I want this, I want this, I want this, and they provision it for you, right? And then at the end of the month or at the end of the week, they tell you, oh, okay, this is how much you've used, come pay, right? Which is a pay-as-you-go model, not an upfront cost. It provides global reach, right? So you're hosting on AWS or Azure. Then once you host on there, your software, your website, your app is available all over the globe, right? So they can be accessed anywhere, and they have like failovers. They have a system set up where there's a problem with one of the servers, another one picks it up, and you can then set all of that up, basically, right? That's reliability and redundancy, right? So we have the data stored up in multiple locations for backup, such that you can just easily spin them back up when you need them. Then security enhancements, cloud providers invest in top-tier security measures. Actually, Microsoft is appreciated for how much they invest in security. So that's something that we need to know. Real world use cases, Netflix. We all know Netflix. Netflix uses AWS to stream their content to millions of users, and you see how fast it is, right? Whether you are in China or you are in South Africa or you are in the USA, in different parts of the world, everyone can stream the content with ease, right? Because of how they leverage cloud providers like AWS. Spotify stores and processes user data on Google Cloud. Then banks and fintechs uses Azure for secure transactions. Remember when we talk about security, right? Banks and fintech, we use Azure for secure transaction. So that kind of gives you an idea of the use cases of some of these cloud providers. But then we're now going to just talk about an overview of major cloud providers, right? So just going to just look at them for a bit, discuss them for a bit, and see, just focus on them for a bit and see what they have for us, right? So overview of major cloud providers, AWS, Azure, and Google Cloud, right? So we're going to be comparing them based on three features: their market share, what they're best for, and their free tier, right? So give me a second. Okay, so for AWS, that's this, right? Their market share, they're the largest, right? A lot of persons use AWS, basically, right? It doesn't mean that, oh, because they're the largest, you have to now jump in there, right? They also have their purposes, right? What they're best for is for general purpose startups and enterprises, basically. So if you're a startup, you can try out AWS. to an enterprise also, we can try out AWS. Um, there are some of their popular services. So like we mentioned, they're a market leader. They have like 200 plus services, like a lot of services that they offer, right? And there are some of their popular services are the EC2 service, the virtual machine. We're going to be discussing on virtual machine later on in the course. We're going to be spinning some up and seeing how it works, right? Um, well, a brief overview of a virtual machine is, you have a PC, but then you want another PC to perform some other operations. Um, um, but you don't want to buy a new PC. You can spin up a virtual machine and then remotely access that virtual machine, do what you want to do on that machine. Right? So you can either spin up a Windows machine or a Linux machine and then use that for whatever you want to do. So other services that you have is the S3 storage for storing data, basically. Right. So we're going to likely look into that. If not, we look at our Azure Blob Storage from Microsoft, which is almost similar to that. Sorry about that. Then we have Lambda for serverless computing. Probably discuss about that later on as well. There's also a similar one in Microsoft. So that's why I kind of mentioned that we're going to be dabbling into the two of them, right? Then in the companies that uses AWS, we have Netflix, we have Airbnb, and we have some governmental agencies that uses AWS. So just gives you an idea of how popular they are and what's they're used for. Now moving on to Microsoft Azure. So some persons previously when I was learning about it, I was like, Azure. Some persons pronounce it as Azure, right? But the pronunciation is Microsoft Azure, right? That's the pronunciation. It's the second largest cloud provider. And it has advantages. It integrates well with Microsoft products like Office 365, Windows Server, .NET applications, enterprise applications. It's kind of integrates well with them. So that's why you see they're best for enterprise apps and hybrid cloud. And we're going to be talking about hybrid cloud later on. The overview is when you have some of your softwares locally and some on the cloud. Yes, that's what we call hybrid cloud, basically, right? So yeah, they have strong hybrid cloud support, and they are used by banks, healthcare, and enterprises. Banks, because then of their security that Microsoft security. We're going to be talking about their free tier later on. But for now, let's move on to GCP. That's a Google Cloud Platform. Right? They are the third largest. They are best for AI, machine learning, and data analytics. You probably have seen some of their adverts on big data. Yeah, big data. Let me see if I can remember the adverts. Companies of all sizes use BigQuery, right? So that's like their focus. They focus on machine learning, artificial intelligence, data analytics, right? And they probably have other things, storage and compute, but that's their focus, basically, right? They're used by YouTube, Spotify, and Google services, for analytics, most especially. They also have competitive pricing and sustainability focus, right? So talking about the free tier, for AWS, they have 12-month free services. I'm going to be showing them to you on this call in a bit. For Microsoft Azure, they have 12 months plus $200 credits. The $200 you have to use in a month, right? So when you sign up for the first time, you can apply for a $200 credit that will be given to you when you confirm your card. Right? Now, that $200 you can use on any product of your choice on the Microsoft Azure platform for 1 month, right? Before you now switch to pay as you go. Then Google Cloud offers a 90-day, $300 credit. So you can just try them out and see, what they offer, basically. Okay. So yeah, we're going to be doing a live demo now. Setting up a free tier account, right? I already have one, but I'm just going to run you through creating one. So walk participants through creating an AWS free tier account from here, free tier limits for each provider. So what we're going to be doing is we're going to be comparing first the free tier limit for each provider, and then we're going to be showing how to create one for um, one AWS free tier account and also an Azure free tier account. So let's first of all compare the free tier limits. So I already have opened AWS, Azure, and Google Cloud, where we can confirm their information. So let's start with AWS, right? Because that's the other we kind of talked about them basically. So go to aws.amazon.com/free, and that brings you here. Says AWS free tier, gain free hands-on experience with the AWS products and services. Normally we're just going to create a free account, but want to just see want to see a little bit about their free options, basically. Right. So they have three types of offers. We have the free trial. Do I click on it? Let's see. Okay, so free trial. Let's see what we have there. It's the free tier details. Nope. Trying to bring up the free tier. Free trial. Okay, so these free tiers offers are short-term trial offers that starts from the time of first usage begins. Once the trial period expires, you simply pay standard as you go service rates. See each service page for full pricing details. Right, right. So that's for the free trial. I'm gonna close this. Then let's see. These free tier offers are only available to new AWS customers and are available for 12 months following your AWS sign updates. When your 12 months free usage term expires, or if your application use exceeds the tiers, you simply pay standard as those service rates. See each service page for full pricing details. Restrictions apply. See offer terms for more details. Right. Then they also have the always free option. So these free tier offers do not automatically expire at the end of the 12 months, always AWS free tier term, but are available to both existing and new AWS customers immediately. So that kind of, it's kind of self-descriptive, right? So now let's see what we have. For the trial, I'm going to just filter by the trial. So for the trial, we have 2 months trial for SageMaker AI, upstream 40 hours, let's say 750 hours. 750 hours, that's per month for 90 days, so that's 3 months. So we have some other things, guard duty for 30 days, engagement customer, and there's quite a number of them that we worked out, 50 gig. A number of them. I remember we said that we have a lot of services, right? So just know that we're not going to be touching on most of them, right? But then, yeah, this is what we say when we talk about the trials. Now let's go to 12 months free and remove the trials. So for 12 months free, we have EC2. Remember we talked about EC2. So just provisioning a remote server, um, either Linux, it could be Windows as well. We have Windows, some other items, right? So then S3, we're talking about storage. So they have 5 gig storage for 12 months free. Then this, we're talking about databases, SQL databases, MySQL, Postgres, MariaDB, and SQL Server, right? So we can have access to this for 12 months as well, and 750 hours per month of database usage, right? Now let's see what we have here. It's API gateway, comprehend, EFS, elastic file storage. So simple scalable shared file storage service for Amazon EC2 instance. So you probably need this with your EC2 to save files. Then block storage. Also, you can use this for along with your EC2 instance. So there's so many other services. Let's see. Amazon Poly recognition. So this like an AI service. Let's say broker. So you could actually just come here and look at it. Load balancing, very, very nice services that we have for free for 12 months, which we can look at and play around with. Now, let's see what we have for always free. So Dynamo database, always free, about 25 people storage. Lambda, 1 million requests per month. So Lambda is the serverless compute, always free. CloudWatch, 10 custom metrics. You want to watch what's happening in your cloud, you can use this, and it's always free for 10 custom metrics. Amazon SNS, push messaging service, always free, 1 million publishes. CloudFront, which you can take advantage, SQS. So nice to look at some of these things. Code commits, code build, 100 gig minutes. So let me just go further here. And we can also filter by some of these things. So you say you probably want analytics. Let's see what we have. SageMaker do on the exchange. You don't want that. You want application integration, SQL, SSWF, and functions. You don't want that. You want compute. That's what they have for compute. Lambda, containers, nothing. Let's see, databases, we saw quite a few. DynamoDB database migration service and SimpleDB. So these are NoSQL databases and they're not totally free. So their SQL databases, we have 12 months free. Content web and mobile. So let's go there and see what we have for that. So just for sign up and sign in access control. It's limited to 10,000 MAUs each month. Then what about machine learning? We have it in data exchange and outlet, robotics. So you can just come here and just go through their products and see what they have for free always, right? Moving on, so I don't spend too much time on Amazon. Let's say we have on Azure, right? So you remember when we talked about pay as you go, so you can try for free and get the pay as you go option, right? We're gonna take this away. So not Amazon. Azure free credit or free accounts we have available only to new customers. Free monthly amounts of 20 plus services for 12 months. So that's 12 months free. Free monthly amount versus 5 plus service, which is always free. So more or less same with AWS. access to full catalog of service up to free amount and $200 credits. So you have access to everything for $200. Spending protection, credit card won't be charged. No upfront commitments, cancel anything. Then you can move to pass-through pricing to continue beyond 30 days. So basically, this part that says credit card won't be charged is when you just sign in and you get the $200, you haven't moved to pass-through. So basically, when you finish your $200, they just stop your service. They don't start charging your card, right? For AWS, there were, let's go to 12 months free. There were instructions or messages that says we're going to charge a card after this. Let me see. Oh, okay, so it's not the honest free, it's the trials period. Let me see. Okay, so if I say partner, let's say somewhere, can't remember. So it will experience additional costs incurred by grants and I'm sure that's it. I said something, I can't remember what I said, but then it kind of just mentioned that once you've used the period, it's going to just move directly to your card, right? But there's a protection here on Azure, right? But then when you move to pay as you go, um, and you exhaust whatever free resources given, it moves directly to your card. Now, so this is pay as you go. Free monthly amount of 20% service which is there, free monthly, always free, access to full catalog of service with no cap on service usage, technical support options available, no offering committed, commitments, cancel anytime, no action required to continue beyond 30 days. All right, so then let's see some of the services that are free and not free. So Azure Virtual Machine, which is the same as the EC2 for AWS, will have 12 months free, 750 hours each. Linux, it's Windows is Linux, 12 months free. Then their SQL database is actually always free, but then there's a limit. We have 100,000 vehicles seconds of SQL database. But then, yeah, it's always free. So for testing on your local or for like a low product, you can use this always. Blob storage, which is the same as trying to remember now. Let me go to 12 months free. Um, S3, yeah. So we have for S3, we have 5 gig of standard storage, 12 months free. Then we have 5 gig, yep. So basically, yeah, same thing. Cosmos DB always free, same as DynamoDB. App service always free, but you have like 10 web mobile or API apps with 1 gig storage, 1 hour per day. So always free, but you can only run it for 1 hour per day. Azure functions, same as Lambda, always free 1 million requests. Event grid. So let's see, we can now see all free services. Let's see what we have here. We can also do this, right? So that we don't spend much time, you know, looking at this, right? So, but you can see the service, the description of the service, how much free and period, right? So advisor is always free and always free, basically. So you don't need to pay at all, right? But API management is always free, but for 1 million monthly calls. So if you exceed 1 million monthly calls, you now have to pay for that, basically. And that's basically the difference between free monthly amount and free period. The sum of 12 months free, always free, 12 months free. And you can just go through this and see. So you have web pops up 20,000 messages per unit per day and 20 concurrent connections per unit. So basically, these are options that are available and how free they are. Now, moving on finally to Google, GCP, Gemini Code Assist available. I think Microsoft has one. Copilot, right? So gets a $1,000 credit for better AI agent builder. Yeah, starting as projects with 20 plus free products for compute, cloud storage, BigQuery, and all of that. So let's see the free products, compute engine, same as EC2 and Azure virtual machines, right? Compute storage, BigQuery, cloud, Firestore, and their resources, but you can just click on it, go into it to see the total assets that you have. Basically. So that's just about it. And basically, we're supposed to compare differently. Now we're supposed to do a walkthrough creating an AWS city account. So let's see what we need to do is let's go back up, create a free account. And the same thing we can do with Azure. We don't need to check for try Azure, but we're going to check for GCP because we're not going to be using GCP during this class. But let's see what they look like. Right, this user. All right, so basically this is what you want to do. Try the new sign-in UI. Let's see what it looks like. So we probably did that on this, right? I'm not sure I see any much of a difference. But this is sign-in. Yeah, I don't see a difference, but that's fine. So you need UI rich that you put in your email. Already have an account, but you put in your email and click next. Just kind of create an account and all of that, right? Then the same thing for um. So I already have an account, and that's why it's showing all of this. But same thing for this. Uh, what I want to do as a new user is create an account. Okay, let's see. So I just do this as whatever that's called. Let's put in your password and all of that. I just follow the prompts and then it's going to create an account. However, in the meantime, I'm just going to sign in. Let's see what we have next. So I'm going to sign into Azure and AWS. So I'm getting the cloud provider dashboard and basic services. So we have some of the basic services here that we want to. I'm not going to be doing this, right? No, I'm going to be doing this. Let's see. So let me just sign in. Give me a second to sign in. Okay. So I'm signing into AWS now. Then also sign into Azure. So I can now do a run through of the services. Give me a second to try and sign into Azure. Okay, so come back in. All right, so I'm in uh hold on. So I got into so presently I can't go into the AWS platform because that's going to be my card, which I wouldn't want to do at the moment. So I'm going to fix that before the next class. But in the meantime, here we are on our Azure platform and we're going to okay, let's just go through because that's what we are now. Let's go through the dashboard and basic services. So services like complete institute, which I would have shown to you the AWS, but now we're going to check here with networking identity management and some of their compute as well. Right? So let's see. Um, let me go through the sidebar. So we have virtual machines here where we can create one. We have storage networks. Let's see. We have databases, function, more or less like Lambda. But let's go to our services. Let's see what we have. Okay. Uh, I actually haven't done any of this. So if you're signed up and you want to get a $200 to start here, right? Um, yeah, if you're a student, you can access student benefits. Then you can manage extra ID. You don't need to do this right now. But in case you want some other person to have access to your cloud with dashboard, you can manage yeah, them there. So I'm going to clean this up and it's not allowing me to view all the resources without doing this. All right. So no problem. No problem. I think I might have to do it, but let's see what we have. Let's try this SQL database and see if it will allow me without setting up any of this. I have to actually. Okay, you know what? This is likely going to be an assignment for you guys. Um, I wouldn't have wanted you to get your $200 credit right now. Um, so let's see. Hey, you know what? Let's leave this for our next class. I would have sorted out the issue if I want to have my card or not. If I probably need to get a new account or something, I'll look into that, all of that. But I don't want to have my card right now. That's why I'm facing this issue. Going back, these are some of the services that we can actually create, actually create any of the resources that we want, cost management, something like that, right? So, yeah, I wanted us to carry out an hands-on activity where we launch an SQL database and then create a table, all right, it's a table. So I guess what's going to happen is during the week, I'll do recording of this and I'll share with everyone, right? our answering activity, I'll do a recording of this and share as well as this, right? So yeah, I'll do that recording. Then I would have sorted out this platform fish and both of them, and we would have run, would have been able to access everything that we need to access. So yeah, that's it on our introduction to cloud computing. Uh, this is basic, but a, a bit of recap. So we talked about what cloud computing is. Talk about provision servers, so that people can come rent it. Talk about some of the characteristics. You don't need to pay an upfront cost, and you can easily scale up and scale down. Real world users, we talk about that as well. Overviews about their market share, which is the largest, which is the least largest, and their purposes, what they're best for, as well as a free tier where we discussed and compared free tiers, basically. We also talked about setting up a free tier accounts and the demo where we have an issue right now. So we're going to be expecting another video for the issues that we're going to be fixing. So that is it, right? Thank you very much, everyone, for joining me. Even though everyone joined, but yeah, thank you very much. And if you do have any questions, normally this one was supposed to do a Q&A, but if you do have any questions, you can just drop in a group chat or send an email. Right? Um, I'll be available to answer your questions. Thank you very much, and have a lovely rest of the week. Bye.